Wry satirical observation and pop culture referencing. Why, it's a new Sparks album, and it's mad. This band grabbed our attention in 1974 with their piano-pounding art glam romp, This Town Ain't Big Enough for the Both of Us, from the most excellent kimono in my house. They have since then been wowing critics with their own brand of vaudevillian pop, including on their most recent albums like A Steady Drip Drip and The Girl Is Crying in Her Latte, of which Mad, their 26th studio album, believe it or not, finds them on a new label, yet nevertheless retaining their inimitable ironic style. The Mail brothers still continue to concoct slick songs of subversive social commentary, all underpinned by that Shostakovich vibe and art pretensions. The most recent album fits perfectly into their most impressive catalogue with its skewed, self-contained universe of sparkiness. The arrangements, as with any album by this duo, is unpredictable as a subject matter. And Sparks have always striven for excellence, exploring these strange microcosms within the context of each song. Ron and Russell Mael set the bar so high on those early albums, everyone expects each subsequent album to be a disappointment, and in that respect they tend to disappoint, especially with a contemporary offering like Mad. And although not every album has reached the giddy heights of propaganda, the Mael's brilliance and puckish energy has always been apparent, even creating a devotee out of this curmudgeonly old prog fan. This album is equal parts jaunty and apocalyptic in some respects, and employs beautifully their time-tested styles, whether it's the symphonic mayhem of I-405 Rules, an ode to the auxiliary interstate. The Sparks world strikes me as nervous, shall we say, and relentlessly urban, one viewed from a pop culture perspective. And then there is the new wave colossus of Do Things My Own Way, a meditation on independence or obstinacy, if you will. And the levels of pomp on this album are just deliciously sparkly, showy arrangements, broadly sketched satire, and elaborate sonics abound. Take Jansport's Backpack, a strange tale of sport accessorising, hilariously satirising our contemporary fixation with brand identity, that herd-like consumer ubiquity which George Romero beautifully critiqued in his 1978 zombie flick. The Mael's genius resides in celebrating the microcosm of modern life, those rarely noticed quirks of our humanity, as Mojo magazine points out, pinning and mounting them like butterflies, then showcasing them in unexpected contexts. And in true Sparks tradition, much of their writing on this album is firmly tongue-in-cheek, like running up a tab at the Hotel for the Fab, which is indeed fab, by the way, described by the Telegraph as a taut synth rock grind. Some of the album's other highlights are the tension explored in the bittersweet undercurrent of In Daylight, with its exquisite couplets like, I can't approach you since daylight reveals me, so I'll just wait for the night to conceal me. A Long Red Light embraces the encroaching dread of feeling the moments of one's life tick away inexorably. An over-circling psychodrama of strings, synth, brilliantly capturing the stress of awaiting a change, with those lights becoming an analogy for the passing of time, perhaps. Abraham Lincoln famously said, it's not the years in your life that matters, but the life in your years. And A Long Red Light seems to focus on the soul-sucking frustrations of going nowhere. And Drowned in a Sea of Tears expresses pathos and drama in the instrumentation and delivery, and hints at her emotional tragedy without ever quite spelling it out. Almost saved her, I was so very near, he sings. Lots of Sparks, witty tale spinning within the context of the rough and tumble of coming to terms with the bitter fruit of ageing, disappointment and loss. Delivered with wit, choppy instrumentation and dramatic vocals, the ever-present gold standard for this left-field pop outfit, described by one critic as perhaps the world's most successful cult act. There's some wonderful Sparks moments on this album. I particularly like the first track, Do Things My Own Way, and a little bit of light banter is just so infectious, it's almost obscene. But I have to mention the wonderful last song on this album, Lord Have Mercy, described by Louder Than War as a remarkable display of musical cakeism, The tune channels the vaulting sentiment of every German Schlager you've ever heard. And there's even a rock god guitar solo, the only one on the album. Yet it's impossible to tell whether the hymnal lyrics are meant in parody or in deadly earnest. Maybe both. This band's observational wit is just sublime, with some pithy asides and camp cabaret melodies, all sing-along stuff. This fraternal odd couple from Los Angeles have produced recently 3 non-conceptual studio albums. There was Hippopotamus in 2017, a steady drip 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 from 2020, and 2023's The Girl Is Crying Her Latte, a most excellent album. All have done well on the British charts. If we delve a little further back, who can forget the collaboration with Franz Ferdinand, FFS? Franz Ferdinand, a band heavily influenced by Sparks. A radio opera in 2009, The Seduction of Ingmar Bergman, and a film musical in 2021 titled Annette. French fans will remember When I'm With You, which topped the charts across the channel in 1981. And their biggest hit in Germany, I think, was When Do I Get to Sing My Way in 1994. And if you are a bit of a musical contrarian, who knows, maybe you'll enjoy their Clash cover version, We Are the Clash.
Like trash, we got one thing, we are the Clash.
But as I've said, Mad, this 26th studio album, delivers what every Sparks fan wants, nay demands, from this rather odd duo. A salvo of quirky connective synth pop. This album bulges at the seams of them, with the oddly mustachioed maestro Ron Mael in full hypnotic flow, and the younger brother Russell with his high notes remarkably pristine, uneroded by the passing of time. Songs delivered with the theatrical panache and characteristic gusto. And the album opens with the pulsing electro assertion of Do Things My Own Way with such hale and hearty countertenor. A new anthem or old manifesto, either or, it's one that underlines Sparks' idiosyncrasy and enduring appeal. One of my favourites on this album is My Devotion, a song about unrequited love transmogrifying horribly into obsession. My devotion to you is all that I do, gamely chirps Russell, accompanied by some interesting tooting synth lines. Got your name written on my shoe, and I'm thinking of getting a tattoo. But then the song takes a kind of a sinister turn with through all the years, rent in arrears, you never cared, can't help but stare. As unrequited love goes a little bit 1 hour photo on us. In Daylight is glorious with its magic unspooling from the simple maxim, everybody looks great at night. That's before our narrator delivers the ultimate LA compliment. You were impressive in Daylight. I saw you, sunlight oppressive, but it's working for you. Before rather sheepishly returning to, I can't approach you since daylight reveals me, so I'll just wait for the night to conceal me. As I've said, these pithy, barbed observations that drip, drip, drip with profundity at their very core is what makes this band so cutting, yet so delightful to listen to. Ron Mael certainly has a talent for writing lyrics, and like many of pop's greatest songsmiths, words and sentiments you instantly imagine applying to your own life. For their lifelong kookiness, Sparks invade your daily reality with these earworms. As all great pop should do, I guess. These well-structured sing-alongs employ melody and amusing phraseology to really work their way under your skin. Mad is a wonderful addition to this band's catalogue, and if like me you've enjoyed the last couple of albums, this one will not disappoint. I think I prefer the previous album slightly over this one. One can't help but marvel at the gymnastics performed by this band as they fluctuate between bubblegum, art rock, even high NRG, operatic and many other genres besides, and all usually within the span of one album. And after all that, they have ended up with a unique amalgam which sounds specifically like them, like no other band, which is the hallmark of a great artist, I think. Obsessive Sparks devotees will enjoy this album, I think, and there'll be endless debate online as to where this album fits into their ranking. The rest of us will simply rejoice in the fact we have a band that combines well-structured cabaret tunesmithery, intellectual depth, with dazzling pop flair. Anyway, you've been watching a review of the new Sparks album, Mad. Here it is here. Of course, I shelled up for the limited edition slipcase version, which looks like this. Anyway, let me know whether or not you like this album. Please leave a comment below. If you haven't already done so, please do click like, subscribe and check that notification bell. It makes all the difference to the algorithm. And check some of the links below this video for ways you can support the sterling work done at Classic Album Review. It's always much appreciated. If you enjoyed this video, please do share it far and wide. And other than that, I'll just leave you with my closing salvo. We just hope you're well, staying safe, and of course that you keep listening.